Inside Out is presented by HTC. This is life. Connect with it. And sponsored in part by Luke Rankin, Rankin & Rankin Law Firm. Experience you can trust. And by Clark Parker with Myrtle Beach CPAs, proudly serving the area for over 40 years. And by Magnolia's at 26th for good old-fashioned Southern comfort food, where Mama eats.
Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome to Inside Out 2020 style. Well, this month we're going to learn all about Horry County economic development and what's new for the new year. How about a wrestling club? Well, there's one in Conway, and we'll meet up with them. There's a taco champ that you're going to meet. And we're going to talk about Special Olympics and their Polar Plunge. Now, if you're interested in chickens, we've got the story for you. There's a hot new farm in Horry County, specifically in Loris, and we're going to meet up with Tim Fox for some of the best eaten chickens you've ever had.
This segment of Inside Out is brought to you by Magnolia's at 26th for good old-fashioned Southern comfort food, where Mama eats.
We're in Loris, South Carolina, where we are on a chicken farm. And I want you to meet Tim Fox. He's not only a farmer, but a lay minister. And of course, we have Naomi and also Toby roaming around here joining us in this interview.
That's right.
So tell me about your lay ministry before we get into chickens.
Just, we attend Crossway, the Journey, up here on 701. We've been up there for a little better than a year, and it's not like any other church I've ever attended. It's got every walk of life in it, and that's the way church should be.
So how did it go from ministry to farming, no less, chickens?
Well, chickens just seemed like the right thing to do because there's a market for it in this area.
I heard you studied this for like 5 years before doing it.
I have. I've studied it and actually visited a farm up in Virginia to get the perspective of how they do it. And they do it on a much grander scale than this, but everything is grass-fed, pasture-raised.
Now the chickens behind us are laying hens, and of course they just provide your family with eggs.
Right.
But over there in those little huts, you have got little baby chicks. So take me through the process. Do you raise the chicks, or do they arrive here already born?
When I get the chicks, they're 2 days old. A chick can actually travel 2 to 3 days after it's born, and what it's living off of is the yolk that's on the inside of the egg. And they get here 2 days old, and from there they go into a brooder, and they have to be kept at a constant temperature. And every week that temperature drops to get them acclimatized to the area. And after 2 weeks, that's when they go out onto the grass. They go out onto the pasture, into the chicken tractor, and the chicken tractor is mobile. It's a 10 by 12 foot pen. It's got a set of wheels on it, and I can pick it up at the other end and move it 12 feet, and that's what happens every morning to give those chicks a brand new salad bar every morning, and they enjoy it.
Now, I was looking at your scrapbook that you have, your little marketing piece, and it amazed me how fast chickens grow, Tim.
They do. They grow, and it's genetics. This breed of chicken is the same breed of chicken that you'll buy in a local grocery store. It's just a meat chicken, and that's what it is for meat. Now, these chickens, they can't have a long life because they won't survive. Their genetics aren't meant for them to survive that long.
So how long from start to finish?
For me, start to finish is 6 to 8 weeks, depending on what I'm going to use the chickens for.
Why are your chickens better than other chickens? I mean, people rave about your meat.
Well, it's just a matter of, well, I have to first say it's the Lord's done it, not me, but the grass, they're getting the chlorophyll out of the grass, and they get to scratch. I think it has to do a lot with a happy chicken. These chickens see sunshine, they feel a breeze, and I think that
they're outdoors.
Attributes to how your meat tastes.
You also were telling me earlier that your chickens are not stressed out, you said. And I want you to explain that, because when you explained it to me, I realized why sometimes we buy a chicken at the grocery store and it's kind of tight and rubbery.
It is. A chicken will get stressed out typically on the move from the chicken house to the processor. It's typically needs to be within a 50-mile radius, because there is so much stress involved in these chickens. They will get stressed out and they will die from that. They'll have heart problems and their heart will stop working. And it's just a matter of the environment that's around them. And when that happens, that affects the meat. And so if you'll respect the chicken will give you good meat.
In looking at your freezer too, Tim, I was surprised at the color of your chicken. When it was even frozen, it's pinker than the white chickens we see at the grocery store. Why is that?
My chickens are processed. They're bled out, they're scalded, and they're plucked, and they're eviscerated, cleaned, and they go into some a cooler that are chilled. They have to get to a certain temperature. But in a typical processor that we get from a store, those chickens go through chlorine baths. They go into cooling vats. When the process starts, they end up with fecal material on them, and that is the purpose of the chlorine baths. I don't need to do a chlorine bath with mine because it's not automated. Me and my wife and friends of ours come and we process chickens, and if anything looks wrong with a chicken, then that chicken's not sold. Why would you want to eat chicken that's been washed with a diluted solution of chlorine?
Well, I've never heard this, and I've been eating chicken all my life. Most people have not done the research into the food we eat. We all know that, and that's sad.
And it is, and the more research you do, the more you find out, and the more you wish you would have known this sooner.
But you're already being so successful in just such early stage. I mean, you have people waiting in line for your chicken out at the International Culinary Institute in Myrtle Beach, formerly Tech, at their farmers market. That's Thursdays, right?
That is Thursdays. Right now we're going from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock. In the summertime it stretches out to 6 o'clock. And what's neat about the Culinary Institute is everything is locally sourced. It's not that they're shipping things in to sell them, but the people are so excited to get clean food. And that is the difference in the chicken that I sell versus the chicken that you buy in a store. Is one's clean and one's not clean. And
of course people are going to pay a little bit more, but you have a man who comes regularly who says it is absolutely worth it.
Yes, and many people are speechless when it comes to the chicken and how much of a difference. Most people will attribute it, they'll typically say it's just not rubbery and it's not dry, and that's what we want.
Now, you told me one of your goals is to start a CSA. First, tell everyone what that is.
Well, a CSA is just community supported agriculture. That's one of the things that communities have gotten away from with the big box stores. I believe that an individual, whether it's a cucumber, carrot, or chicken, if they want to buy it, they should be able to find a farmer that has that and go buy it from that farmer. If they're not welcome to buy it at that farmer, then there's a reason why the farmer doesn't want you there.
Right, so in other words, people are invited to come to your farm.
Very much so.
Tell us where you're located.
We're in between Conway and Loris off of McNabb Shortcut Road, just off of 701. I would say I'm in and out, so you have to call first before you come.
Make an appointment.
And you can come and see, look at everything you want to look at. But you know, you can find me at the Culinary Institute. You can find me in Market Commons at the Waccamaw Cooperative, and also in Conway when they're running their markets in the summertime.
And so this is the only chicken farm in Horry County that does what you do, right?
It is, as far as I know.
And then the next closest might be Darlington.
That's right.
So if you want fresh chicken, friends, this is the place to get it. It's the Fox Farm in Loris. Thank you so much, Tim.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead, cock-a-doodle-doo for me.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
You got it, cock-a-doodle-doo. The Rivertown Wrestling Club coming up next on Inside Out.
Remember when Mama loved to cook? Well, now Mama eats at Magnolia's, and you should too. She knows that Magnolia's brings the Anderson family farm straight to the table. There's breakfast, lunch, dinner, and Sunday brunch buffets, plus a salad bar and banquet space available. As for the price, Mama says she can't cook it that cheap. Magnolia's for good old Southern comfort food that'll have you coming back even before the cashier says. Y'all come back, 26th Avenue North and Ocean Boulevard in Myrtle Beach.
No matter where the day takes me, HTC provides the high-speed internet services I need. HTC delivers faster speeds, 24/7 local tech support, and free in-home Wi-Fi right here to Horry and Georgetown counties. As trusted community members serving up world-class internet service, I know HTC will keep my family connected to what matters most. Because you are here, and so are we.
High-speed internet starting at 100 megabits per second. Call today.
HTC. This is life. Connect with it.
We're at Conway High School in the wrestling room, but we're not talking about Conway High School tonight, but they're nice enough to let the Rivertown Wrestling Club actually work here, and that's what the kids are doing behind us. I want you to meet Kenya Keith. Now, he's got a great connection to Conway High because you still hold the record for a wrestling championship. Come on, don't be shy. Brag a little. Tell me about it.
1997. I guess I'm telling my age too, but 1997, I was the last state champion here at Conway High School.
And no one has beat the record yet.
No one has beaten that record yet.
But you're hoping somebody from this club does.
I know somebody will. I know someone will.
That's great. And what do you do now in the community, Kenya?
Right now, I own my own heating and air business called Quick Services Heating and Air, and pretty much coach wrestling and coach local football.
Well, as the CEO of this new nonprofit, what does wrestling mean to a young child? What do kids get from wrestling?
Oh man, they get so many things like exercise, being determined. We teach them a lot about wins and losses, how to handle them all. I mean, it's a whole list of stuff. I mean, it does everything for them.
Like any sport, I guess discipline is important too.
Definitely discipline.
We know that many of the schools in the area have wrestling teams. So where do these kids fall into all of that? How come they're not at their school teams?
Well, there's only one other wrestling club in this area. It's up towards Myrtle Beach. Other than that, this is the only club.
So in other words, there are teams in the high school, but there's not a club.
That's right.
Tell me about this club itself. How long have you had it, and how does it operate as a nonprofit?
Well, the club has been going on for about 12 years.
Really?
About 12 years. And I've been here for the past 5. And this year is the first year we're actually a nonprofit.
And why did you set it up as a nonprofit?
Well, we initially thought we can get a whole bunch of grants to get some of these kids, you know, help with uniforms, travel, you know, food, whatever. And so we thought that was the best route to go because we thought, you know, people would help out more and it's going to a good cause.
And obviously, as a local club, you're part of a bigger organization.
Yes, we are. We are part of, it's called Skyway, the South Carolina Youth Wrestling Association, which we travel within the state a lot to a lot of different tournaments. And I think we have about 18 to 20 tournaments during the season from between between November and March.
So these kids come here even in the evening. They go to school all day and then they come here in the evening to wrestle?
Wrestle, yes, at 6:30, and we finish about 7:45.
So
2 or 3 nights a week.
So there's a fee, obviously,
Yes.
for these kids, because when you're part of a bigger organization, there's fees that you have to pay.
Yes.
But I understand that you and Ben, your other coach, and some of the other folks have really gone out and kind of, gone through the bushes and found the right people to help sponsor some of the kids who couldn't afford it. And I think that's terrific.
Yes, we have a few sponsors. I mean, we can definitely use a lot more. But the ones we have, they do support us, and we love them.
Because you obviously have a bus that's got to take kids to the games.
Yes, we have a van that we just purchased about 3 months ago, and that's been a huge help because a lot of the kids don't have transportation even to get to practice. So now we
Go pick them
up from their houses, drop them off at the practice.
Wow, that's something.
Yeah.
So you've got some sponsors, but you are looking for some more.
Definitely a lot more. I mean, you can tell by the amount of kids we have here, and trying to support them all. Sometimes it can be it's a real hard task.
And I heard that many times some of these kids kind of fall between the cracks of having a great family life, perhaps some of them. Some can't really play sports at school because of transportation, and so this answers a lot of things for kids.
It does. It really does. I think Coach Ben and I got that idea from when we wrestled in high school. Our coaches used to come pick us up. They used to have to find me some of the time, but they would come in their personal cars and come by and pick us up, and I think that kind of saved me a lot.
I can tell you love what you're doing, and
Yes.
and you are hoping that somebody's going to break your record. And you said that there's a couple of promising wrestlers.
Yes.
Tell me about them.
Austin Collins. He's probably, between him and my nephew, Kenya Keith, those two, they should break my record between this year or either next year. Before they graduate, they will.
You're going to see to it.
I'll make sure they will.
Let's talk about the age of the kids and what they actually do here at a practice.
The age start at 3 up until 15. After that, they leave and go to high school. We coach boys and girls. A lot of them are, brand new to wrestling, so we got to kind of really be a lot more hands-on with them.
Because when they go to a state championship, they're going to have to be.
Yes, we have to have them prepared.
Right.
And we only have about 5 months to do it in. So, we have to take someone who never even knew about wrestling and turn them into state champions in 4 or 5 months.
So Kenya, the kids came in, I saw them, they ran laps, they did all kinds of things. Tell me a little bit about start to finish.
Okay, the way we start out, we always start out with at least a 5 to 10 minute jog, get the kids loose, warmed up. After that jog session, we get them into 4 lines, and we walk through doing cartwheels, square offs, duck walks, forward, backward rolls, just to get them real loose so no one gets hurt,
Then once that's all done, then you take individuals and they work with different coaches, and what are some of the skills they learn there?
Some of the skills they learn is, how to stand, how to use their hands, how to use their feet, their head, how to get out of moves when someone puts you in a move, how to counter that move, aggression, because you have to be aggressive for the most part, just to know how to turn it on and off whenever you want.
So we know the kids need uniforms, they need shoes, you need more sponsors, but obviously you need a home. This is wonderful of Conway High School to let you use the facility, but you need a home. What are you looking for, Kenya?
We're looking for a building. We need our own facility, ASAP. We're kind of outgrowing this room, and I think by getting a building, we can grow this thing there's no limit, basically.
And obviously you want it in Conway because all of these youngsters are from the Conway area.
Definitely in Conway.
So can kids just come join anytime during the year?
They can join anytime. We really only started about 2 weeks ago, and you can come up till March if you want, because we do, after March, that's the regular season. After that, We have national tournaments we can go to and travel during the summer. So, I mean, yes, wrestling is really year-round. We just stop it at March, and then we take some of the kids who've been wrestling for a couple of years, and then we travel to, you know, Ohio, West Virginia, Michigan, places like that.
So as you can see, Kenya is determined to have someone from Rivertown Wrestling Club beat his record here at Conway High School.
Yes.
And we hope they do just that. If you'd like to be a sponsor, or if you in any way can help out, assisting with coaching, preparing meals, helping them on the bus trips, whatever you would like to do, Kenya wants to hear from you, right?
I definitely want to hear from you.
And that's why his number is right there. Thank you so much, Kenya.
Thank
Good
you.
luck, my friend.
Thank you.
You're doing a wonderful thing, helping kids be better adults in the future. Right after this break, we'll tour the annual Farm Bureau show, and we'll learn all about the 2020 census.
Enjoy the sights, sounds, and stories of the Long Bay Symphony under the direction of Maestro Dr. Charles Jones Evans, starting the new year with From Barber to Barber. Rossini's The Barber of Seville is paired with Samuel Barber's Adagio for strings. And the Long Bay Symphony welcomes the new year with concert pianist Kung Yi. Tickets are now available for Sunday, January 26th, 4 p.m. at the Myrtle Beach High School Music and Arts Center. Come early for Maestro Evans' concert preview. For tickets, call or go online at longbaysymphony.com.
This month's video features a tour of the 76th annual meeting of the South Carolina Farm Bureau Federation. Come follow me. Today we're at the Chapin Memorial Library, and we thank them for giving us a home for this interview. We're talking about the census. Did you know that there will be a big census operation here throughout the country, but right here in our community, and you are going to have to participate? Well, you don't have to, but you should, because it's your civic duty. I want you to meet Lindy Studs, and Lindy is the media specialist for the census. And Lindy, I know you've had some wonderful jobs in the community before this. You've worked for the Sun News, I know, and you've been a citizen here for 20 years.
Yes, I have. My family relocated here in 1997, had a long career at the Sun News and left there, and now I've joined the census team to help make sure we get all of our residents counted in 2020.
Why a census?
Well, the first reason why we take a census is because the Constitution tells us we have to. They actually have been doing the census since 1790. So it's a requirement by law. However, there's more important reasons why we take the census, and a big portion of that boils down to political power and money. When I say political power, it's because the updated census data that we gather is used to reassign out all the seats in the House of Representatives to all the states. It's also used for redistricting and things of that nature. Now, the money side of it is that there's over $675 billion per year for the decade that will get distributed in federal funding to all the states. And that money will go to things like transportation, healthcare, our schools, and other community services. And so all of that money is sent out based on population data and where people live. So it's important for us to get an accurate and complete count during the census.
And of course, money goes to roads, and we talk about that a lot around here.
Yes, we do. It's very important. It impacts everyone's life, regardless of what your living situation is or your family situation. So it is important for everyone to respond.
When I was looking through this folder, there's even a sheet that says 50 ways the census data is used. So there's a lot of opportunities here for us to give great, vital information that will help everyone, as a matter of fact. How long does it take to do a census?
So the census will be fairly simple. It's a short, probably 10-minute process, about 10 questions per person in a household, and you can fill it out in 3 easy ways. So we're very excited about that. In mid-March of next year, every one of us will get an invitation at our home to respond to the census, and that invitation will outline a website that we can go to complete it online, a toll-free 800 phone number that we can call and speak to a sworn census employee on the other side. Or if you don't respond in one of those 2 ways, eventually we'll send a paper form to the household. So if someone wanted to fill out the form and mail it in like they used to, they can do it that way as well.
Now, there may be people who say, I really don't want to do this. And I don't know why anyone wouldn't want to, unless they're just being stubborn. It's just important to do it.
Right.
And this information is not shared with anyone, so why wouldn't everyone want to fill it out?
Right, and that's a great point, Diane. We want everyone to understand that when we all respond to the census and provide that information, it is protected. Privacy and confidentiality is a very important part of this operation. We have multiple laws in place to protect the data that is given. One is Title 13, which is a law that requires all census employees to take a lifetime oath to protect that respondent data, and if we don't, it's a felony. We can get in a lot of trouble. And there's another law called Title 44, and that law requires us to put all of that data we supply under lock and key for 72 years. So it is safe and secure, and everyone can feel confident of replying and providing their information.
And even though I know we're going to start hearing more about it and being notified in March, you kind of have a big kickoff on April 1st, which is April Fool's Day, Lindy. Now, there's an odd tie there.
Yes, well, that's a good thing to remind people when they hear about the census and that it's Census Day on April 1st. It is not an April Fool's joke. But yes, we will send out invitations in mid-March, but we want everybody to know that Census Day officially is April 1st, 2020. And what that means is that when they do respond to the census and they apply and give that data, they want to base it off of where they live and sleep on April 1st, 2020.
So what type of questions are asked?
Sure. So the census is a simple questionnaire. It's about 10 questions, and we're looking for just basic information of everyone that lives in the home with you. It includes information like your name, your age, birth date, relationship to the individuals in that residence, race, and just some basic information like that.
Piece of cake, right? Yeah. Now, what about employees? This is a huge operation throughout the country, so you must still need some employees here.
Yes, the census is still hiring. It is a huge operation, and it requires thousands of employees to pull it off successfully. So if you are looking for a job, you want to help get all of our residents counted, you can go to 2020census.gov/jobs to learn more about what's available and to apply.
Sounds wonderful. Lindy, it sounds like they've got the right person in the right place for this job, no doubt about it. Thank you so much for being with us. And remember, friends, you can go online in March or wait for April Fool's Day, whatever, but just do it. It's our civic duty. Thanks, Lindy.
Thank you.
Wow, you're going to love J. Mike's Flavor Station. It's all coming up next here on Inside Out.
As fellow community members, HTC believes in helping friends and neighbors protect what matters most. With integrated home technology, I can control my home and security system from my smartphone. HTC Security makes my job easier and keeps my world running smoothly. No matter where the day takes me, HTC brings reliable, world-class security right here to Horry and Georgetown counties because you are here, and so are we.
Upgrade your security with a video doorbell from HTC.
HTC. This is life. Connect with it.
The Carolina Master Chorale, under the direction of Timothy Cook, continues to celebrate its 37th concert season with Music is the Food of Love. It's a Valentine's weekend that'll warm your heart and tickle your funny bone. 3 concerts perform at the Trinities: Trinity Presbyterian in Surfside, Trinity United Methodist in North Myrtle Beach, and Trinity Church in Myrtle Beach. It's always a sellout, so order your tickets early, give them a call, or go online to carolinamasterchorale.com. Come celebrate love.
This segment of Inside Out is brought to you by Clark Parker with Myrtle Beach CPAs, proudly serving the area for over 40 years.
Well, I've got a great idea, a great way to start the new year, and that's eating tacos here at J. Mike's Flavor Station. We're at the Holiday Sands South. It's a beautiful hotel right here at 25th Avenue South and Ocean Boulevard, and J. Mike is the man.
Yes.
Now, did you really and truly beat all the chefs in Murrells Inlet in a big taco cook-off?
Yes, I did.
That's brilliant!
Not only once, but twice.
Tell me how it happened.
Well, my good friend Phil Jackson of Surf Dreams Foundation was with the Atlantic Surfing Federation at the time. They were short on cooks. He loves my beef jerky. He gave me a call one day and basically shamed me into entering because I was just one person with no restaurant. And I did, and I made a beef jerky taco, which I'm about to make for you right now.
Beef jerky taco. That's because I understand you're an award winner in the beef jerky category anyway.
Well, I never really won an award for my beef jerky until I made the taco.
Uh-huh.
And so basically what I did was, instead of dehydrating my marinated beef, I cooked it down in some vegetables.
Really?
While I was in the original
That
beef.
makes it somewhat vegetarian.
It's definitely balanced. I'm a Libra. I gotta have balance. So there's just as much meat in there as there are vegetables.
Looks good.
Oh, yes. And I mean, my beef jerky marinade's very simple. It's just soy sauce, brown sugar, garlic, herbs, and spices. And then you have your traditional, some French word like mirepoix, with celery, carrots, onions, and garlic.
Well, I'm impressed already.
Listen
Just the
to that
fact that
sizzle.
beef jerky can normally be dry and tough, and this looks incredibly tender.
Oh, absolutely. But again, it's all about my marinade. And I use my marinade for a lot of things. It marinates the chicken for my chicken bog taco.
Chicken bog taco. Now
Chicken
that
bog
sounds good.
taco. So
And
you
I
won't be
bet it's
hungry.
got sausage in it.
Oh, yes. It has 2 different types of sausage. It's traditional chicken bog will. You have a breakfast sausage and a smoked sausage. Now, the smoked sausage I buy, I'm not that cool yet. But the breakfast sausage I grind here myself with my own sausage spice, which is one of 6 spice blends that I actually make here at the Flavor Station myself.
And I heard that he takes those spices and he tops them on French fries.
Yes, I do.
We're going to sample some in just a
I've
moment.
actually got a little bit right here.
Which spice is this?
This is the original J Spice. I also have my swamp spice, which you'll see me in a little bit use in the gator taco.
A gator. I've never eaten gator.
Absolutely.
Another great way to start the new year. Gator tacos. So this is the beef jerky taco. What do you put on the tacos?
Well, I make my very own pico de gallo from scratch. I use Roma tomatoes, red onions, fresh cilantro with some garlic, and of course my J Spice, and a little lemon juice. Very simple. I try to keep it simple. But my coup de grace is what they call comeback sauce. It's my award-winning Southwestern Ranch I make from scratch.
Put a tiny bit on my finger.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Tiny bit.
Absolutely, darlings.
This is your famous...
Oh, gosh, please don't make me...
Oh, there it is.
Right.
Tell me what the name of it is again.
Southwestern Ranch. Well, we're in the South. You got to use ranch. So.
Love it. Let's fix that up.
Absolutely.
And while he's doing that, I want to tell y'all that my friend, J. Mike, is also a great singer. He has sung for, so many people, including the Pelicans. I heard him sing at the big stump meeting at Gallivan's Ferry.
Oh, I was so blessed to do
We were
that.
over there videoing, and I have to tell you, when he opened his mouth, there wasn't a sound in the place with thousands of people. They were blown away. And I even heard from a little birdie that you even somewhat auditioned at Disney World for American Idol, and you've auditioned for The Voice.
Yes, yes.
Pretty impressive.
It was just great learning experiences. There you are.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Absolutely.
I'm going to taste it in a minute, but right now I would get all messed up. But I am going to taste it in a minute, and that is absolutely gorgeous. What's up next?
What's up next is, my buddy Phil Jackson, who's responsible for me entering the taco cook-off, which is why I have a trophy, which is why I'm oceanfront right now. He also has a mac and cheese cook-off to, again, raise money for kids to surf. And with the Surf Dreams Foundation. So
You created a mac and cheese taco?
yes, pardon me, young lady.
Oh.
Get a little butter down.
Now, while he is doing that, let me tell y'all about some of the other tacos. Pulled pork taco, grilled chicken taco. This is the mac and cheese taco. There's a breakfast taco. There's we did the award-winning beef jerky taco. There's also fabulous breakfast items here. J. Mike is famous for his taco omelet. Is that how you say it?
Yes.
Or taco melt?
No, the taco omelet. Absolutely.
I love this.
The taco
3
omelet.
eggs. I'm really impressed. So you can have breakfast or lunch at J. Mike's. And best of all, he's right here on the ocean. There aren't many restaurants on the Grand Strand where you can eat and see the water. What's that all about?
I mean, I'm very blessed. A lot of really unique things had to take place in order for me to be here. The owners of the hotel are very beautiful people, Eric and Stephanie. You know, Eric's grandfather built this place. Yeah, I'm here.
He's here and happy to be.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say.
Let's whip that one up. And as you do, I also want people to know about some of the other things you have. I saw, other than tacos, what is J. Mike's Pick-a-Plate?
Pick-a-Plate is just my breakfast where you can kind of create what you want. And
A little of this and a little of
a
that.
little of this, a little of that. So you can get a meat, you can get eggs, toast, grits or hash browns. Basically you can combine your own little breakfast, customize it.
My goodness, why haven't we all eaten here yet? But I'm telling you what, I'm going to become a regular. Look at this.
see
Absolutely awesome. We got time for one more because I'm not going to miss a gator taco.
Oh yes, now any one of my dozen different taco varieties you can get as a taco, a salad, a bowl, a quesadilla, a burrito, or even an omelet.
Well, where do you get gator around here?
Well, I order it from Cisco. I don't really hunt. Will you hand me that spice in the middle? Yes, this is my swamp spice.
Oh, swamp spice on gator. Yeah,
yes.
That makes good sense.
It's kind of like Old Bay, but we don't live in a bay. We live in a swamp.
I like that.
Yeah, so this is J. Mike's Old Swamp Spice.
And is gator much like chicken?
Well, I call it chicken of the swamp. Because, it's got like a combination of a chicken-fish texture. And this is filet of gator, so it's the best part. So yeah, I'm gonna saute that up in a little bit of my pico de gallo. Again, just tomatoes, onions, cilantro, lemon juice, and of course, J-Spice. Lots of garlic.
Do you do catering?
I do, absolutely. It's something I'm beginning. I'm not full-fledged caterer. I'm trying to. I've done lots of events. I'm currently about 85% built on my food truck, which is a sweet 76 Winnebago Brave. I'm converting.
Oh, that sounds cool.
I just picked up a second one, affectionately known as Kyle. And
so you really will be on the road soon when you're not here. Like if you're here for breakfast and lunch, then you might be catering at night.
Absolutely.
And by the way, in the summertime, Jay hopes to be open into the evening hours, but right now it's pretty much breakfast and lunch with the ocean view. You don't want to miss it. And you even have beer and wine.
I do. We offer New South. Oh yes, the beer from here, and congratulations on their 20th anniversary. But we offer their nut brown ale in cans as well as their white ale in cans with hints of citrus and coriander.
This is the one I want to taste, but I got to wait for it to cool off. But then again,
yes.
Why wouldn't I taste them all? Why not? Why would I not?
Yes, that's the only reason I'm in business. Is people got to eat it.
Brisket. Very, very, very good. And then, of course, I'd love the mac and cheese, but now I'm going to taste gator for the very first time in my life, I think.
That will be a little hot there.
Okay, so while I'm waiting for it to cool off, wrap it up by telling everyone how to find you one more time and invite them to come have breakfast or lunch.
Well, we are right here at 25th Avenue South and Ocean Boulevard. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/J JMFSMB, J Mike's Flavor Station, Myrtle Beach. We're also on Yelp and Google. So just check us out. Oh, I want to bite.
Here, you can bite the other end.
Oh, yeah.
You bite the other end. That is absolutely delicious. I'm telling you, I've never
Flavor!
This is flavorful, which is why it's J Mike's Flavor Station. And we've got the address, the phone number, all the scoop for you right there. J Mike, I'll be in to have breakfast and lunch. By the way, they even have Benedict's for breakfast.
Yes. I make hollandaise to order from scratch.
He's going to be my new best friend here in the new year. Thank you, J Mike.
Thank you.
Yummy. Let's eat some more.
Yeah, man.
Are you brave enough for the Polar Plunge? Well, they're raising money for Special Olympics. Get the scoop right after this.
Hi, I'm Wanda Howard, and I've known Clark Parker for a long time. Clark has been my CPA for the original Benjamin since 2006. He has proven himself to be knowledgeable, dependable, and available. I consider him to be an integral part of my business success. I even trust Clark for my personal estate planning. Small problems or large, Clark can help you navigate through them successfully.
Clark Parker and Myrtle Beach CPAs, proudly serving the area for over 40 years. This segment of Inside Out is brought to you by Luke Rankin, Rankin & Rankin Law Firm. Experience you can trust.
Well, we're here in Conway at the Horry County Law Enforcement Memorial, and I want you to meet someone who not only works for the law enforcement, but is heading up Special Olympics Polar Plunge. Brr, just thinking about it makes me cold. I want you to meet Marcus Rhodes. Sergeant Marcus Rhodes, give me a little bit about your background, because you've worked for many people throughout the county.
I have. I've had a great career here in Horry County in law enforcement. I started with the North Myrtle Beach Department of Public Safety in 1990, and that's actually where I fell in love with Special Olympics. I was directed by my chief at that time, Director Johnny Causey, to head up the law enforcement torch run. I didn't know what it was, but he told me I had to. So I did, and I met Special Olympics athletes and folks from the law enforcement torch run, and I've been hooked ever since. I was at North Myrtle Beach for 10 years. I went to the Horry County Police Department. After that, worked 17 years for them. I worked in schools all over our county. And then I've been with the Sheriff's Office now for 3 years with the Horry County Sheriff's Office.
So what was it that drove you to Special Olympics? I mean, other than you got involved in the torch run, it does kind of wrap around your heart, doesn't it?
It does, it does. I thought initially that I was going to be connecting and making a big difference for athletes. And I happened to have the opportunity to go to a Special Olympics athlete competition. And I met them, and I put some medals on their necks, and they hugged me and they gave me high fives. But what I really saw was this pure, genuine, human spirit joy. Not all of the stuff that we get bogged down with, but real fun, real competition, real hearts. The athletes on the field were the real deal, and I fell in love with it.
Now you got the Polar Plunge coming up on February 1st, and yeah, it's gonna be chilly. It always is kind of in February, but tell me the realm of the whole day, or frankly, I know there's events the night before.
Sure, well, so the Ocean Annie's Resort, formerly Sands Resort, Ocean Annie's Resort is our host, and they do a phenomenal job for the Polar Plunge itself, and then they also host a Special Olympics dance the night before with the junior Civitans that participate, and the Myrtle Beach Civitans that put on this dance. And then the day of the Polar Plunge itself is a crazy day of registration, food, fun, games outside on the Ocean Annie's deck. And we have two plunges that day, one at 11 o'clock for the folks that need to get in and get out. And then the big plunge is at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Last year we had almost 900, well, we had 900 plungers run in the water. We raised $120,000 for Special Olympics.
Amazing.
We had about 2,000 people there at the event, just celebrating the opportunity to do the coolest thing, literally, in Horry County in February and have a lot of fun doing it. And of course, the Polar Plunge then, the money that we raise funds Special Olympics events throughout the year. Special Olympics is really year-round sports training and competition. And so we have spring games in April held at the Pelican Field. The Pelicans are a phenomenal host for our spring games. The athletes love having competition in the ballpark. What a great place to have competition. And then the other big event is the Fall Games, which is a state event that Horry County now is proud to host. The Fall Games is at Coastal Carolina University, several of our bowling centers, and at the Myrtle Beach Convention Center. And athletes from all over the state come in. We just had it in October, about 1,200 athletes and their families, and volunteers from all over the state compete. It's a great, great event, year-round stuff happening with Special Olympics.
One year I was a hugger, and I love that title.
What a great job.
My favorite title. And I want people to know that they too can be a hugger, and you not only need volunteers to be huggers, but you also need volunteer coaches.
Sure. We need folks that would be willing to help us coach Special Olympics teams. We even need unified partners. So if you like to compete in an event, or you've never competed in a sports event before, but you would love to learn with an athlete, you can be a unified partner as well with our athletes. And we would love for you to do that. There's some information that we'll give you at the end of the broadcast for contacts. But it's a great opportunity to really be involved with our Special Olympics athletes and their families and in that community.
And I know that you have a lot of support with other law enforcement throughout Horry County,
wow,
assisting you with Polar Plunge as well as Special Olympics in general.
Absolutely. Our agencies all over the county are involved. All of them participate, they get engaged, they support, they raise money, and then the Horry County community and schools and young people and adults. What an incredible community to serve. And they give back, and it's rewarding to the officers to see that many people engage something with us to make a difference for Special Olympics. It's a win all the way around.
So if you want to have a great experience and be a hugger or a volunteer, show up February 1st. What time at Ocean Annie's?
Hey, the registration starts at 10, but the plunge is at 2, and we register all the way from 10 to 1 o'clock.
Happening in Myrtle Beach, but it's for all of Horry County. Be there and wear your swimsuit.
Absolutely.
You going in?
I always go in.
There you go. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you so very much for being with us.
We appreciate it.
Our final segment features Horry County economic development, so don't go away.
Hi, I'm Luke Rankin. Horry County is my home. I was born and raised here, and for nearly 31 years, I've been helping people. I'm an attorney. When folks need help after an accident, if they've been injured on the job or denied Social Security benefits, they call me. No screaming, no crashing cars here, just a serious offer to help. If you need legal advice or assistance, go with experience. Give me a call. Luke Rankin, Rankin & Rankin Law Firm. Experience you can trust.
As fellow community members, HTC knows the precious value of family time spent together. That's why HTC delivers faster speeds, 24/7 local tech support, and free Wi-Fi. No matter where the day takes me, HTC serves up the world-class high-speed internet you need to stay connected to your world. Because you are here, and so are we.
High-speed internet starting at 100 megabits per second. Call today.
HTC. This is life. Connect with it.
So with this being a new year, let's find out what's up with Horry County Economic Development. I want you to meet Sandy Davis. She's the CEO, and the official title is Myrtle Beach Regional Economic Development Corporation in one breath. How about that?
Great.
Sandy, how long have you been the CEO?
I have been the CEO for a little over a year.
But I happen to know that you were actually kind of the interim CEO for a while and then finally got the position. So 6 years in all you've been working with the organization?
Yes. Total, March will be 7 years.
You told me that you didn't even know there was such an organization before you came on board. And that's why we wanted to do this interview. We want people to know that there's someone out there fighting for jobs for our community. So let's take a look at 2019. What was it like last year? Did you feel that it was a successful endeavor?
I felt like last year was very successful. I feel like it went very fast. But we changed our marketing strategy a little last year and began to do a little bit more outreach to certain areas. We also marketed with Myrtle Beach Chamber of Commerce to do some marketing on why not the beach for just vacation, but also to have your business here. Last year, we announced over 250 jobs and over $14 million in capital investment with an average wage of over $16 an hour with full-time benefits.
Hooray!
Thank you. We're going to continue to increase our marketing trips. And from our marketing trips, just what we're working currently, in addition to the 28 projects that we're currently working, those are people who have already visited our area. They have visited, they are interested, we're usually in like their top 3. They've completed a project profile sheet which tells us what they think may happen, how many people they think they'll hire over 5 years, what their average wage is, and the capital investment that they will need to be able to have a facility here. And then from that, we kind of go against other states and even counties for incentives to see who makes the best offer that they feel is best for their business. So we're working 28 of those, and we are working 383 leads, so almost 400 people that we're corresponding with, and it is myself and a staff of 2 others in our office.
Oh my, I'm tired just thinking about it.
I am too.
Now, Sandy, I know that people call you, but you go out and recruit, and you were telling me right before we started taping this interview that you travel quite a bit. And tell me a little bit about the shows and where are you going to recruit these jobs from?
We are going to Southern California, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. Most recently this year, besides the New York trip I just went on, I went to the UK and met with some companies there. And it was an easy trip since they speak our language. The biggest hindrance was I did rent a car and I was driving on the opposite side of the road on the passenger side of the car. So it was a task for me, but by the last day I had it. But there are a lot of interest there. I met with about 10 companies there, and I hope that they'll visit, see what we have to offer.
What do these people that you visit with, what do they ask you about the area? What's the number one question?
Number one right now in pretty much all companies that we're talking to is workforce.
Do we have the people to go to work?
That's correct. And we have great training programs, which is important to a lot of them. A lot of their areas do not have training programs. We have the Ready SC program, which is the program that was established by the South Carolina Technical Colleges, and that every company that we've recruited has utilized that program. So that's important, but most of all, to know that our area have the skills that they're looking for, that we're not just a hospitality area. Whether it's aviation related, we have Pittsburgh Institute of Aeronautics. If it's advanced manufacturing, we have Horry Georgetown Technical College, a new advanced manufacturing facility in both Horry and Georgetown counties. We have Coastal Carolina University, and we also have IT, which is through both Horry Georgetown Tech and Coastal Carolina. We have some programs through Webster University and even Miller Mott that assist with some of these jobs that we are recruiting for. They have the workforce that we need.
What do you feel are your best skills that you bring to this table?
Well, I like to answer people quickly. I like to get back to them. That's one of the things that we have heard a lot of, and I can say that that's not just a personal thing, but for Horry County as a whole. When I have a question from a company that wants to know something that would be required through permitting, I can get an easy, fast answer through Horry County staff or South Carolina Department of Commerce. We are really proactive in trying to help businesses, so it's been really easy for me, and they're telling me that that's something that they're not having a quick response from all states. So I think that's one thing. And then just to sell our county. Our county, we have a great place to work and live. We also have low taxes. We have great incentives, very competitive on our state incentives and county. And just the cost of living here is a lot lower than what other people are seeing in their areas.
Sandy, brag about maybe one of the companies that you really feel like was an incredible success to bring to the area.
Technoware is a company, and this is just great information that I'm sure some people may not know. It usually takes us 3 to 5 years to close a deal. So this company had actually been visited before I ever came to work at the EDC. But then I followed up with them. It had been about 2 years, and I was like, did you ever expand? I found some notes on your company. And he said, no, we're still looking, actually. So they came from Finland. They purchased a company in Connecticut, and that company did the same thing that they do. It's a specialty lighting manufacturer. They opened a facility in New York that already had a lease from the company that they bought out. So the lease was for 5 years. So during that 5 years, they were trying to find a new facility. So they came and they visited, and one of the things they said was that they would need an interstate. And I asked them to come anyway, and I said, just give us a chance. Let me show you what we have to offer. And they came. We kept them on 31, 22, took them all around the county. And when we came back to my office, of course, the Atlantic Center was right across from my office at Horry Georgetown Tech. So we rode through there. He said, this is where I want to be. And I said, okay, but you're on 501. That's our busiest highway that we have, especially during the summer. And he was like, this isn't busy. Connecticut, I live 3 miles from my location, and it takes me over 20 minutes to get to work.
Oh, wow.
He said, so this really isn't. So I'm proud of them because whenever they completed that project profile sheet I spoke of earlier, they put down that they felt like they would hire 48 employees over 5 years because that's what they had in Connecticut. It is a year and a half into their location being open, and they're at 78 employees currently. So that has been a big win. They've almost doubled what they agreed to do, and we're really excited for them.
And you talked them into it, even though we still don't have an interstate.
We talked them into it.
And that was really going to be my final question, because when I interviewed all your predecessors in this position over the years, they always said that we lost a lot of business coming to the area because we didn't have an interstate, and they weren't really pleased with our schools. And I just wondered if, obviously, you're overcoming both of those, and our schools are certainly better than they used to be.
Well, it's kind of, on the interstate side, it's kind of, if we can get them to come here, then we can usually win them over. But through South Carolina Department of Commerce and site selectors, if the company puts that they require an interstate, we never even get to find out about the project because we're scratched from the list. So it's only the companies, like this particular company was one we visited on a marketing mission. So if we visit the company, we can usually talk them into it. But if they're coming on a list and it has certain guidelines, we never even know that we're a contender for that. And as for the schools, Horry County School District, Coastal Carolina University, Horry Georgetown Technical College, they all play a big part on my board. So the schools have been a really big asset. I've heard nothing but good things from all of our companies that we've recruited about the school districts here.
I'm sure that after this interview, you all would agree with me that Sandy Davis could probably talk anybody into anything. So I'm expecting big things for 2020 from you. And I thank you so much for sharing. Best wishes to you in this job, Sandy.
Thank you.
I know you're already doing great things, and 2020 is looking brighter all the time.
Thank you, and I appreciate your support.
Thank you, dear. Well, as you can see, I'm still eating here at J. Mike's Flavor Station. You will love this place. Now remember, next month, it's February, and on this show during February, it's all about love and passion. So I'll see you next month. Jay, take us out in style. Sing for us while I eat.
Chicken bog tacos, so you won't be hungry. Chicken bog tacos, so you won't be hungry. Gonna feed everybody. Tacos, gonna feed everybody. Tacos, gonna feed everybody. Chicken bog tacos.
Delicious.
Inside Out is presented by HTC. This is life. Connect with it. And sponsored in part by Luke Rankin, Rankin & Rankin Law Firm. Experience you can trust. And by Clark Parker with Myrtle Beach CPAs, proudly serving the area for over 40 years. And by Magnolia's at 26th for good old-fashioned Southern comfort food, where Mama eats.